Morning, everybody. We got a little project today. I'm going to cut the grass here in a few minutes. But before I do, notice how that volleyball net is sagging in the middle. What happened is the fellows that they hire to keep these empty lots, the lots that are for sale for new houses, mowed down. I've been mowing around these pegs where the strings, the nylon strings go into the ground, and keeping the area nice and clean. Well, they got a little too close with their zero-turn mower this week and just chewed the wire up. Luckily, the two little spikes that go in the ground, they stayed put. The line just got all chopped up. So I've got to come up with a new piece of nylon rope for this. It's like an 1/8 inch nylon rope or something. It's really small. I'm not going to worry too much about it right now because my daughter unfortunately did not make the volleyball team. Her and her brothers have been out here playing volleyball, and they really like to play badminton on it. It is getting kind of cold, or chilling down now. It's getting into fall. I think I'm going to go ahead and take this down and store it for the winter. And one thing I want to do is the pipes that I put in the ground, I don't want them to fill up with dirt so that I can't use them next year. So I got a couple of these PVC caps, and you'll notice I cut some holes in them, or some slots in them. And the idea is I can slip this over the pipe, and the slots keep them from sealing too tight. They'll keep the dirt and the water out, but I'll be able to slide them off very easily in the spring, or really any time that they want to put the net up and play, because we could have a barbecue in the spring, and the kids might want to get out here and play volleyball or badminton or whatever. And I'm sure I'm going to have to go get this string, because probably I'll take this thing down and the first thing they'll want to do is play on the net. But I'm going to go ahead and take it down, so it's a little easier. It's a little easier to maintain this area, and because I've got the drainage dug out right there, they haven't played out here for 2 weeks, so we're just going to clean the yard up. The biggest problem I have with these nets when I store them is you can see these little, it's kind of a plastic ball on a string, and what they're used for, they've got these little hooks that let you sort of tension the net. And these things will flop around as you're rolling the net up onto the pole, and they get tangled inside of the net, and it makes it extremely difficult to unroll it. So I'm going to take some blue painter's tape, and I'm going to tape these to the pole, so that way the ball can't move. And my hope is that'll make things much simpler when I try to unroll it next time we want to use it. And I'm actually going to cover up the entire ball, because if I just tape it to the pole, these could still get wrapped around it. There we go. And this stuff will come off nice and easy in the spring. I mean, it just peels right off. I'm hoping this helps, because that is aggravating when those things get all twisted up like that. All right, I'm going to run down and do the other end, and then I'll check back in with you. I got the bottom one taped up down at this end, and I was going to tape the top one up, but I noticed that the string, and this is what the guys cut, is right in the way. So I thought what I might do is loop the string down the pole and just put a couple, just wrap the tape to hold it to the pole. And then when we get down below the net to where it won't be tangling in the net, because I don't want to have to untie these. They got these little plastic stakes on the bottom, and you've got to untie them all the time. So I'll get it down below the net where it's not going to interfere with it, and then I'll loop these up and just wrap them around the bottom of the pole to kind of keep everything together. So let's get a couple pieces of tape on here. Now that we're below the net, I think I'll put one more little bit of tape down here. I'll keep it pretty far below the net, so if I'm wrapping the net and it works its way down a little bit, it's not going to hurt anything. We'll hang that right there on the camera. just going to twist this around my hand. A couple of more twists. Normally what I would do is wrap the string around this knot and feed it through one of the ends, but I'm really not able to do that because of the spikes or the spikes on the end of it. So I'm just going to tape this up.
2 ringy-dingy, 1 ring.
Sorry about that. My phone went off and I had to take a phone call. Somebody's interested in my big lathe that I have in the garage for sale. But anyway, I went ahead and continued. I wrapped the string up with the blue tape, and now I'm just going to tape it to the pole. And these 2 spikes down here, I'm just going to go ahead and put just a loop of tape around them, because I'm just trying to keep this stuff from flopping around and getting caught up in the net. And you know, if it can, it will. We all know how that works. All right. I've got everything secured. As I look up through here, I think we're ready to start wrapping. What I'm going to do now is I'll move the camera and get it out of the way here. We'll move it back a little bit so you can kind of see the whole process. But essentially what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove this pole from the ground, lay it on the ground. I'll remove this pole and I'll start wrapping from this side, just rolling the pole and rolling the net up onto this far pole. When I'm done, we should be able to maybe put a little tape around it to keep them from separating, and then we'll stick it up in the shed. All right, I've got everything rolled up nice and tight. I had to back up a little bit there at one point because I started rolling off the end of the pipe, and I don't want to do that. Let me get my tape here. And just to keep these from falling apart, I'm just going to put a little tape so they stay together. Whoops. Yeah, my tape split on me there. Fix that. There we go. And I'll stick another piece down at the bottom. All right. These are ready for the shed. I went ahead and just laid them up on top of my ladder. I don't get this ladder down very often, but if I do, it won't be a big deal just to lay these off somewhere and then put them back when I'm done. My thought was I didn't want to go put some hooks on the wall and take up more wall space, because this was perfectly fine and available right now. Last but certainly not least, we're going to install our caps, and these should be below ground level. I'll be able to mow right over them, and when they want to come pull them off, I can just get a hold of them. And I'll probably use a pair of pliers because I can't get them with my hand, they're too slippery, but I should be able just to pull them right off. These slots in there will keep them from sealing too tightly. Let's go get the other one. This one's a little buried by the grass, but not a problem. And with that, the volleyball net is put away and secured until next year or the next time the kids come outside and decide they want to play volleyball. Any of you parents know exactly what I'm talking about. Hey, listen, everybody, having fun here, having a great day. I hope you guys are as well. Come back and see me again real soon. Take care.